Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. Got our homie G Chad over here with us one more time. What's going on, brother? So, we are going to bring up a cigar today, and I feel like we should get right into it because I haven't smoked yet today, and I'm ready for it. So, we're bringing back Joya de Nicaragua again, this time with the copper. Yeah, both of our lights are going to do this thing. The beauty of studio lighting. But let's see if it'll actually show yours up, because this is technically, for lack of a better term, this was another one in the color series, if you will, from Joya. This one joined the red, black, and silver when this one was brought out. And we've done the red on the show, not with Chad, it was back when we were doing the in-person shows. So now we get to bring another one on the show this way. So I'm going to go ahead and jump the gun a little bit and light this one up before we give you some details and talk about it and start a random BS for the day.
Yeah, this band does not pick up well because it's already white, which is the worst color. And then it has a bunch of reflective gold, glitter, everything that cameras don't want to pick up.
Right. Hopefully the overlay video will do a much better job presenting that.
I think I got a pretty good shot of it there. It's just a little reflective is all. Now, as you know, I smoke a lot of Joya.
Right.
A ton of Joya. I love Joya. That's one of my daily, we talk about people who have daily drivers. Joya is my daily driver.
I know you've had a lot of different random Joyas and trades we've done and stuff like that.
$7, $8, $9 for most of the stuff that I like to daily drive, but they've got such good products.
I mean, they seem to always be consistent. No matter which one I've tried or smoked, it always seems to be pretty damn reliable.
Well, Joya de Nicaragua is the oldest factory in Nicaragua. The oldest.
I knew it was old. I didn't know it was the oldest.
Yep. Yeah. So, like I was telling you before we started here, if I've smoked this, I don't ever remember smoking it.
Okay.
I've smoked all the other colors, the silver, the red, and the black. I really like the red for a, daily driver. It's cheap.
Yep.
Consistent.
You know what? I'm an idiot. I just pulled this up on CI because I was about to do it we normally do and read the tips. The very first sentence says, Joya de Nicaragua has come a long way since its creation in Nicaragua's, wow, I just screwed that word up, Nicaragua's first cigar factory.
Yep.
So if I'd have read this ahead of time, then yeah, I would have known that detail.
The only reason I know it is because Ronnie tells me all the time.
That's fair.
He always talks about factories and lineage before he talks about people's tobacco or what they're selling. It's basically, to him, the factory means more than almost anything. Where you got it made and where it's rolled.
Who makes it, how they make it, the construction that's behind it, that goes a long way for a product, especially something like this. But
it's pretty mild compared to what I was thinking.
Yeah, so on that, it's a Nicaraguan Puro, and it doesn't say a whole lot other than the fact that it's supposed to be a little bit spicy with a delicious bit of strength, and it actually is listed on a 5 out of 5 on the strength profile with a medium body flavor expected of wood, leather, and espresso. But they did specifically tone it down they took some of the blend off of the flagship Antonio 1970, but they purposely blended it down to try to make it less spicy. So wood, leather, espresso, and a bit of spice is what we're expecting.
You know what I was smoking before we got on?
What's that?
Antonio.
Yes. Are you serious?
Yes. That's one of my daily drivers. I love
that.
It.
Is true. That is true. That one I knew.
Yeah,
You know, I didn't
that's
even
funny.
ask you what you were smoking before we started. That's funny.
Yeah, Box Press Antonio. I love that cigar. It's probably one of my favorites, actually, for $9 a stick. They're pretty amazing.
So let's see if I can find what pricing, because I don't. I'm not sure if this is discontinued or CI is just out because it says they don't have any. So
They
trying
were
to see.
just going to discontinue some of the colored lines, and that might have been one of them.
Maybe so. And it's only been out for like 5 years or so, I think, 6, 7 tops. But if I remember right, in fact, let me be smart and I'll just go look at my inventory list here, what I paid for them. We'll get an idea. It was. I definitely must have got these on some sort of stupid price because I paid $4.25 for them, and I know that's not what it was. I want to say that the full price was somewhere around like $8 or something like that, but I'm trying to jog my memory.
I was thinking like 100. I don't even know. But the other color series, I think, were around 150 for a box of 20. So what would that be? 75, 750-ish a stick. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's about right, maybe.
Well,
But
you get
apparently,
that stuff on Cigar Page and stuff where you get a
oh, here
bundle
we
or a
go.
five
Half
pack.
Half Wheel still had the original prices. So this one being the Toro was retailed at 156 a box, so 780 a stick, and that was the most expensive. They had a Robusto, Corona Gorda, and a Consul, which is pretty dang close to a Rothschild, and those were seven and just under seven. So this was the most expensive size and the biggest size at a 6x50 Toro.
Does the console have a tapered head on it?
No,
Like a
they
bullet
all
head?
look Parejo style heads.
Oh, yeah. So I had last weekend I was at poker weekend. I was going to tell you about this, and I'll send you this picture when we get done. But
Yeah,
it's basically 15 guys that are holed up in a house playing poker for 72 hours.
nothing wrong with
So
that.
they had this thing called the Wheel of Pain that the guy who runs it decided to do this year. So he made a random list of rules, and every rule was different for each person because he knows all their personalities.
It's fair.
And if you broke the rule, you had to spin the Wheel of Pain. And on the Wheel of Pain, there were just a bunch of random punishments.
Okay.
So I got to wear a donkey suit for about a half an hour. That was my punishment. So I'll send you the picture of me in the donkey suit at the poker table.
Oh, that's
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, it's pretty good. So I figured I'd share that little tidbit with you. But the weekend was good. We had a good time. And, two guys just do all the cooking, which is amazing. Like we just show up, bring money, and we all pitch in some money, and the two guys head up all the food. They take care of all the meals, and so it's pretty effortless. Show up, play poker, and leave. So,
Good chill weekend. Sometimes you need
yeah,
those relaxing, hang out with your buds type of thing. You know.
we didn't sleep much though. I slept like 3.5 hours night one and 4 hours night two. So by the time I got home Sunday, I was just tired, man. Yeah, it took me a day and a half to catch back up.
I haven't. I got a buddy that lives 2 blocks away. That's hit me up a few times. That he does a lot of poker nights, but so far every time he's done one, his schedule is almost slap opposite of what mine is. Um, he works days and he works different days. So every time he's done his poker nights, I've been stuck at work or sleeping before work, so I haven't been able to get over there yet. So maybe I can join him up
Yeah,
soon because I haven't actually sat down and played poker outside of doing it on a phone or a computer in quite some time.
yeah, I've been playing a long time. This same group of guys I'm talking about, I've been playing with for almost 20 years. So
Oh dang!
yeah, the same core group still. We've had new guys come in and out, over the years, but there's about 8 or 10 of us and some of those guys were there 10 years before I got into the group. So yeah,
So this is
it's a good
consistency.
group. Yeah, we play every Thursday. Um, every Thursday.
Oh, it's the same group
Right.
that you play with. Okay.
Same group. Yep. So my
Got it.
Thursday night poker, you've heard me talk about, it's that
Yep.
same group that we go up to the river.
Oh,
My
nice.
friend, my friend's father passed away years ago, and he's from a family of he has 7 siblings, so there's 8 of them. And when he passed away, his dad just put the house in a trust, and then all the money he funded the house with. So like, basically, it's just self-sufficient. It pays all its own taxes, it pays all its own utilities, and that's what he left them. So they share it, and they all use it as like a vacation, home. It's right on the Manistee River.
It's not a bad idea though.
Yeah, and then they're not fighting over, selling it and all that stuff. It's taken care of. It's funded itself. So now the funding may run out at some point, or maybe it already has. I don't know, but that was the intent
Right.
when he first passed.
So what are you getting on this? Right now I'm getting leather and espresso purely. I can smell wood, but I'm just not tasting it just yet.
Yeah, I got both of those things, and now that you told me that, I can definitely see where they use some of the Antonio blending in this. But I'm getting like a little peanut, like a
I was wondering
peanut
if I was
flavor
getting
or something.
nuttiness.
Yeah, but the two things you said and some peanut, basically. But it's a pretty
Like
basic profile. I like it.
I was about to say nuttiness, but I thought that it was just my mind tripping me out because the last several cigars I've smoked have all had like a nutty taste to them. So I thought maybe I'm just relapsing, but I guess not. Maybe it is there.
The more I try a retro on it, because it's smoothed right out, but I get it most on my retro. On the exhale, I taste peanut.
Yeah, for
So
sure. And then the spice comes up a little bit more, like not harsh. It's just a little bit stronger on the retro,
yeah,
which is expected.
this is actually a really good cigar. I'm disappointed with myself that I've not smoked it. I don't think. If I have, like I said, it might have been one time, and it was a long time ago. And
Right.
so, do you remember when that release came out and everybody was going crazy because the Herrera Esteli Miami was getting canceled? Do you remember that press
Yep.
release? So there were
Yep.
a list of cigars on there, and I'm pretty sure that this was on there. We'll have to verify that and post it on the episode when we're done. But I think this might have been one of the discontinued sticks that was on that list.
Well, let's see.
Because they're all coming out of the Hoya factory, right? It was basically all the stuff that gets made at Hoya that was getting discontinued.
Let's see. December 11th of 2024, Cigar Coop shared the release. Says Durastate and Hoya discontinue 16 SKUs.
Yep, that's the one.
So Herrera Esteli Miami, they had 3 of their sizes. The Esteli Norteño, which that's a good stick too.
That's a really good cigar.
The Antonio 1970, they discontinued the Perfecto and the Lancero. The Antonio Connecticut, just the Bellicoso. The Antonio Gran Reserva, the Bellicoso. The Nicaragua Dark Corojo. They discontinued the Hoyo Black. That was a good one. They discontinued the Hoya Cabanetta, which is also a good one.
Yeah.
And
was it just one size though?
Yeah, that one they just discontinued the Corona Gorda, so everything else is still there.
Yeah, because I like the Robusto and the Lancero in that.
And they discontinued the Hoya Red in the Condonazzo and Short Churchill. So I don't see this one on the line.
Okay. Maybe I was just thinking about the Hoya Red and the Hoya Black. I knew a couple of them made the list in some different sizes, but
it does look like, unless I'm misreading this, it doesn't look like any of them outside of the Miami was completely. Well, that and the Norteño, it doesn't look like it was completely discontinued. Most of the rest of these are just particular sizes out of those lines.
Yeah, I think Norteño and Miami were the only ones that was the entire line, right?
Yeah, that's the way it looks, just those two.
That Miami's a fantastic cigar. I don't know if you ever smoked them.
It is, and I think I have one, but I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm not lying. I want to say that I got that in a trade from somebody. I don't think I got it, and I could be wrong, but unless I already smoked it, which is also possible. Let's see.
I might have sent you one because I had a box of Rajis I got from Smoke Inn.
Well, if I did, I've already smoked it. So, because I don't have it no more.
I think I got 2 or 3 left, and I'm going to hang on to them and let them sit because the longer those things set, the better they tasted too.
And I'm pretty sure, check this in a second, the Cabanetta, I think I have that in my reserve for show purposes down the line. I want to say. Let's see here. It's always good to dive into the brainwork of my incredible spreadsheet.
You sent me a Cabanetta too, you think? I
Let's
couldn't even
see.
tell you what's in that bag.
Let's see here. Nope. So you had this one. Out of the Hoyas that we currently have on standby, got a Cinco de Cinco. You actually sent that one, as well as the Antonio Gran Reserva. We had this one. No, I haven't sent it to you yet.
Yeah, the Antonio Grand Reserve is probably my favorite of the Antonio line.
But I've got and those Cabinettas, by the time we smoke them, will have some age because I've had them for 1.5 years already, sitting in the humidor.
I bought a box of Cabanetta Lanceros that are in my toy box. I don't know, it must be almost 2 years ago now. I hadn't even opened the box; it's still sealed. So one of these days, I'm gonna get one of those out and smoke it.
Oh, woo! Asked right on the knuckles. That one caught me off guard. I did
that earlier, and it landed. I'm sitting in a rocking chair. It's one of those, what do you call them, the GCI outdoor rockers. It falls down in the thing, but I'm leaning back, so it slid right between my legs, and I didn't even know I dropped an ash until I felt it.
Right. Yeah, that was the same. And I was getting ready to hold it up and make a comment because it was stacking dimes before I just knocked it off. So,
yeah, mine's burning perfectly and drawing perfectly. Very rarely, to your point, I mean, I smoke probably more Hoya than you do, but very rarely do you ever have a construction issue with any kind of Hoyas. Like, I can't tell you. I might have had 1 or 2, just like every other brand, but I've smoked hundreds of Hoyas.
Right.
I had very few issues.
They are very consistent, but as I have learned today, and I'm sad I didn't realize this, having such an old, consistent factory as they do, I would expect nothing less.
Yeah. The other one I smoke a ton of is Cinco de Cinco.
I think that's how I have the one in the box. I'm pretty sure you sent it.
Yeah. I think that because I had sent some to you and Justin and Ryan as like potential OG show sticks. I think that might be.
I think I had one before you sent me that one, and I've had a couple since because you've talked it up and I've got them. But I think the first one I got was from an event, and it might have been I want to say it was Cigar Fest. I don't think it was NFG. I'm pretty sure it was one of the early Cigar Fests I went to. But I think I've had the Cinco Quattro. I think I've had a little bit more than the Cinco.
Quattro Cinco, yeah.
Quattro Cinco?
Yeah.
Just because of just availability when I went and bought stuff for no other reason.
As soon as that Cinco de Cinco came out, the Quattro Cinco, the price went way down too. You can get boxes of those for $100 now.
What did I do to my? There we go. Yeah, definitely consistent. And I didn't say this. I just smoked it. I pulled homage to you today.
Nice.
It may not be tamarind, but it's still Jarritos.
Well, you'll never see me drink a tamarind again.
Or me with a fluffernutter.
It's funny you say that because there's one rogue tamarind rolling around in the top of our small fridge right now that I won't drink. And so I'm going to have to just throw it away.
Right.
Nobody's going to drink it.
That's exactly what we did with the Fluffernutter. Derek had tried one, realized what they were. I lost the game, so I got to drink it, and the rest went in the garbage can.
Was there some kind of you lost? You say like you had a competition and you lost? Is that why
Yeah,
you had to drink it?
we were playing Mario Party, and the bet was whoever came in last place had to drink it, and the entirety of the game I was in first place until the star party at the end, and I got no bonus stars, and so I went from first place to last.
Oh man. Is it
So
Mario Kart? Is that the game or Mario?
Mario Party.
What is that? I don't even know what that is. Like I used to play a
Ooh.
lot of Mario Kart.
So Mario Party is you can still get multiple people to play it, but you're basically on like a virtual board game, and they have different sets, and you roll virtual dice, but your goal is to get stars, and the star will be randomly placed on the board, um, and whoever gets to it first, you get the star, and then the next star will be randomly placed. But the board game has different obstacles and turnarounds, so it's not just like Monopoly where you're going in a circle. So there's adventures, and periodically through it you have mini games of all kinds of different sorts, where some of them are, let's say if there's four people, it can be a free for all or a 2 versus 2 or whatever, and then the winner may get extra coins and the losers may lose coins or whatever, which becomes important because whenever you make it to land on the star space, you have to have enough coins to buy it. So it's this real fun, simply competitive board game, more or less, but it's very interactive. It's
That's
very
neat.
addictive for a group of people to sit around and play.
Yeah. Lately we've been playing a lot of. There's this app on you can get on your phone called Jackbox, and it's basically games that you put up on your TV that are interactive, and people use their phones
Oh, that's cool.
to play with them. So like there's a murder mystery game, which is really cool. It's like our favorite game, but yeah, Jackbox TV. So like if you're ever having a party with 6 or 8 people, you
Yeah.
just download it and it runs off like a tablet or something, and then
Okay.
you have to screen it or screencast to your phone or to your
Right.
TV with it, and then everybody participates. They just get the app and download. It's real quick. Play it on, and then you play along on your phone. So it's pretty cool.
I like that. I'm gonna have to look into that. The Jackbox. I have to
It's a
remember.
good adult party game. Even kids too. But like, there's different stuff in there. There's different types of games you'll see, but it's pretty neat.
Because I'm all for stuff like that. In fact, I'm going to type myself a note here so I don't forget. So that sounds fun because I usually play Mario Party when I go over with Brett and his wife will go hang out. That is almost always our go-to. But anybody else, this would be a fun thing to look into.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. There's several different games that we continually, wash, rinse, repeat. We go through 3 or 4
Right.
different games and just do them over and over. They have this one where you can make your own T-shirts, and what you do is like you come up with 30 different, as many sayings as you can in 2 minutes, and you're just writing sayings, and then somebody else is writing pictures, and then next thing you know, a bunch of pictures and a bunch of sayings come to your phone, and you're just swiping until you find one that you want to put together, and then that's your
Okay.
shirt, right? You made a shirt, and then your shirt gets judged and goes up against other shirts, and
Huh.
it's fun. But some of the sayings are funny. People are sometimes being a little lewd, and
Right.
so
Right.
it makes for you can make it as PG or as R as you want. So it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah. Little stuff like that. That's simple, but gives you bonding experience. Is some of the best things.
Yeah.
It's just like when I was a kid. Playing. You know, like Sorry or Shoots and Ladders. The game itself was incredibly boring, but it was simple. It gave you something to play with somebody, and it turns into a room full of laughter most of the time.
Yeah, we played a lot of Life when I was young.
Oh man, I forgot about that one.
Game of Life. That was fun.
Oh, that was a good one
That and
too.
Monopoly, I think, were the two go-tos at our house when I was,
Yeah.
8 to 12, probably.
Played a lot of Monopoly. Just to play it right, you gotta make sure you gotta got a little extra time. So if the game goes well, you're
You need 6, 8 hours to play Monopoly,
right.
for sure. Yeah, anymore when we play with my two youngest, they end up fighting. One's 16 and one's 18, and she's mad because he won't cut a deal with her. And
Yeah.
it's just, she ends up pushing all of her stuff to her mom and quit.
Welcome to adulthood. This is all it is.
Right. That's what I keep trying to tell her. This is just like adulthood. You never have enough money. When you got time, you don't have money. You got money, you don't have time.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And then every once in a while you end up in jail for somebody else's fault. So hey.
Well, I don't know about that. do tell. Sounds like there's a story attached to that.
No, just hypothetics.
Yeah, this cigar is really smooth.
It is.
I'm digging it. So how long have you had this particular cigar?
Let's check. So this box I got in.
I've had it 4 months, probably, since you sent
Let's
it.
see. I got it about 7 months. So I haven't had it. It hasn't hit the year mark yet.
Smoking like a champ.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that my smoke dried up a little bit. When I say that, took on a different texture a little bit. And I'm probably farther back than you because I've been really cheaping on this thing.
Well, I'm right there with you, actually.
Yeah, I think we're close, yeah. But it almost got some of that Avo chalk.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. The texture changed just slightly, but the notes are
what's good. Interesting about that Avo Heritage is that has apparently become our reference point for a chalky smoke because and I can't remember if it was in the middle of the show, but me and Justin did a show, me and him, because we smoked another Texas-based cigar, and we talked about chalky smoke, and he referenced comparing it to the Avo as like the baseline that we go on, because some chalky is bad, but that was a good chalky, so that's kind of become a reference point.
I'm gonna get another one of those out and smoke it. I bought a box right after we smoked those. I've waited because I'm hoping that I'm not disappointed. That's why I waited, because I don't want to smoke one and then go, oh man, that's not. Maybe that one you had more age on it, or.
I think, actually, I can tell you because the one I gave to you, I got out of a box, and the box is not finished. So
the one that you were referencing that you smoked with Justin, was that the Big Tech or the League of Texas?
Oh no! So this one,
because that pecan one had a little bit of chalky in it too.
So the pecan one was the Perdomo, Texas.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. The League of Texas Reserva. That's one that we get from NFG. This one. Was the Texas Cigar Roadshow's custom blend, and that is David Skelton. If y'all are watching, don't know this, it's Texas Cigar Roadshow on YouTube. He's a pretty good dude. They do a lot of cigar pairing type shows, different alcohols or different drinks or whatever. But he had Still City Cigars in Pittsburgh make that blend for him. And at the time I recorded, I didn't know who made it. I hadn't asked that question because we just wanted to smoke it blindly, so I wasn't sure who made it. As soon as the show was over, I was messaging him and asking him for the details because it was fantastic. And I know you can buy them on Tobacco Cabana, I think it is. I had to look that site up, but that was the technically a project cigar that he had them make for his show, and it was absolutely fantastic.
So when you say his show, what does that mean? His show?
So
like
he's
a podcast or something? Or?
Yeah, if you have not ran across him, that's another one. And I referenced it that way because I thought you'd already knew about it.
Well, you mentioned to me the other day about him to look him up, and I haven't done it. So
okay, so Texas Cigar Roadshow.
My bad.
he's got about 170 or 175 episodes, something like that, or in the ballpark. He's in Texas, but he does a lot of area traveling. Like he'll do shows at, he'll go do stuff at events or go to other shops. So he's kind of like a traveling guy as well. But his shows in his studio with his partner, they, I guess their baseline show, if you will, kind of like how we do this, is they'll get a cigar, but they'll get a pairing, whether it's a new some sort of alcohol that neither one of them have tried, or they get it in an actual prepared thing on purpose, whatever the case is. And they'll specifically not just talk about and review the cigar, but they'll talk about how the cigar works with that particular drink.
Right.
And so that's kind of their, I guess, their baseline for the show. But another good guy to watch and talk to. It's good conversation, if nothing else. And we met him.
The cigar was magnificent.
The cigar was absolutely fantastic. I said I did not ask him who made it until after, so I didn't even know where to go look it up. And he told me the blend. I had forgot the blend and had to ask him again right before the show so I could reference it. But so I didn't know who made it, so I couldn't go look it up. And I was like, man,
there's no blend info, right? Like there's no blend info on a store site or anything.
And now that he told me where to go find it, I found it on Tobacco Cabana. But there's and that's a Texas shop, but they do sell online. There's a couple others that don't sell online that it's in, but I know that one has it online. You can find it. But I remember saying that, man, this should be a $14-15 cigar. That's how much I liked it. And if I remember correctly, I think they're around like $12 is what I found them for. So they're I will probably go buy a few in the near future, and if I do, I'll send you one because it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, I'm not sure I can send you anything anymore since your last package still hasn't showed up.
That's fair.
I looked at it today, and I'm just like, what in the hell? So I asked Sherry, the lady that works in the office there, I'm like, can you tell any more than because she's the one that runs the UPS account.
Right,
and it just says it's stalled. It basically it made it to Illinois, and that's it. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I'll let it go another day or two, and I don't know what the next steps are, but I'm just looking out there. There's a deer out here.
I know you're always sending pictures of the deer in your backyard.
They were in my front yard today, which was crazy.
Oh, really?
Because that usually never happens. We have a very small front yard, and we're in a subdivision, right? So we have woods out behind our house, which is natural for the deer to come in, but they're out in the front yard just grazing on the grass like cows, man. The premium stuff must be out there because everything's thawing out.
Oh yeah,
sprouting. So 2 of them were out there eating this morning, but yeah, hopefully I can get track on that package and figure out where it's at. Because if not, somebody's smoking all your cigars. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what's in there because normally you tell me what's in a package and you haven't. So,
I put a couple treats in there, but it's your cigars you bought is what it is.
I knew that part.
Yeah, I threw a couple extra cigars in there like I always do, but I don't remember even what it was anymore. But I threw something in there.
That's the part I'm curious because you normally tell me what's coming and you're like, oh, there's a few extras in there. So I'm always curious. But I
forgot. It's been so long. It's been like 40 days since I sent the package, it seems like.
I am anxious to hopefully that arrives because the cigars he's talking about is when he went to Curacao on a cruise. There is the Bandito Cigar Lounge there I love, and so I sent him money to grab me a few cigars while he was there because I won't be going back on that cruise path for several years because we got some other things lined up. So it'll be a while before I've put my feet back in Curacao.
Does Curacao have La Casa del Habano as well?
No. So
I was reading something the other day, and I thought somebody had mentioned that there is one in Curacao.
If they do, it may not be in the port city because the one that was in the port city, there was I can't remember the name of it, and it could have been a Casa de Habano. I can't remember, but when for years, when you first get off the port, right there, there was a long time cigar lounge, and it could be that I'm having a brain slip. But the reason I found Bandito was when we went last year, that place had shut down and moved and went farther away from the coast, elsewhere. And so I started looking for another place and found Bandito, just downtown. So if there is one, I could be mistaken, or I'm just not aware of it.
Yeah, it was cool. I was bummed though that the one I really wanted to try was that Connecticut. They had like one Connecticut shade. It looked like a Connecticut shade blend with the white banding, and they only had 4 of their 6, blends in house when I went to pick them up. So that was kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get to try all of them, but
I'm gonna say this live. Hold on, let me look at something. What is that one called? Is that the Capitano?
That sounds right.
So, I will verify when we get done recording.
Capitano is the pyramid with the black band, I think.
Okay.
Because that's one of the ones I've smoked.
So, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why I asked you to grab me 4, because I have one left of their house blend, which I didn't ask you to get this time.
Well, you did get them though. That's what part of what was in the box. There was 3.
Was it?
One of the blends they had was their house blend, and then they had the green.
I forget.
The green banded one, and then they had the house blend was like a grayish black.
See, they changed their bands, which they look better.
That's what you said, yeah.
But I forget the names, but I've got one each of 5 of their blends. So as long as if one of these, because I get the names mixed up, if one of these is a Connecticut, I'll send it to you so you can try it.
Oh, you don't have to send it to me. I'm just talking.
I know.
I've been on a huge Connecticut kick lately. I just really like.
Well, that's why you're more of a Connecticut guy than I am. So, I mean, I
like all of them, right? I like to go from top to bottom. Now, I'm never a big pepper guy. That's not my thing. But I think you and Justin really enjoy the spicy pepper. But I'll smoke any cigar. But I've just really been half my cigar diet lately has been Connecticut's.
Yep.
And it wasn't like that even 6 or 8 months ago. I think I'm just going through a phase, right?
It happened.
I went through a phase where I smoked just tons of Sumatra stuff or whatever. Right? I think you just go through phases like that where you find something that hits your palate just right and then kind of focus on it. And I've gone through 6 or 8 different brands and cigars, types of Connecticut's, and trying everything I can get my hands on, Espinosas and knuckle sandwiches and stuff that I don't normally buy. I'm just branching out into those brands, just trying their Connecticut's, right, to see if they're any good. And,
I know the Sumatra kick. It happened to me probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And I remember where I was. I was in Hot Springs. I was at the Humidor, the lounge that I go there. And every time, he lets you bring sticks in as long as you make any type of purchase. He doesn't care. So, I always get an old fashioned or something. But I always go in the Humidor, and they've got a small one, and grab stuff that I don't have. And I got a Christoph Sumatra and forgot how fantastic that cigar is. And for about 3-4 months straight, every order I did had Sumatras in it.
Yeah.
So it happens. Your palate gets stuck on something for a little bit.
Well, I think you start finding the interest in whatever that blend is that's piqued your interest in.
Right.
And then you want to compare apples, and you start, buying different brands and to see if they stack up with the one that you liked. I was going to say something about Christoph. It's funny you mentioned them. I had my first Christoph, I don't know, it wasn't too long ago, but Swoop had sent me a Christoph Maduro, and I really liked it. It's the first time I've ever had a Christoph.
I think it may be in the show box. Let me see, because I think either I did or I meant to send you a guardrail. Oh yeah, it's in our OGs. So at some point.
Yeah,
So that one's
I could lay
no.
those bags out on my table, and you wouldn't be able to pick the cigars out. There's 137 cigars, man. Like,
We're set
you
for a
always ask me
while.
what's in there. I'm like, I don't know. It's a giant Boveda bag just stuffed full of
Yeah.
cigars.
And that is why I quickly realized after we started building this list that I needed a spreadsheet to know who had what, because I mean, it makes sense. We just load each other up and then we got stuff to pick from for the show. So,
Right. Well, I'm glad you're the guy updating the spreadsheet. You sent me the original one that you had sent, and I took a picture of it and put it in my phone. But that's literally my notes to see, what you sent me. But it's not getting updated. Like, I'm not crossing cigars off or
well,
anything like
I'll,
that.
I have no problem sending you an updated list anytime, we've gone through a few cigars. That's cool.
Well, it's probably been a dozen cigars since
Okay.
since you've sent that. I don't know. When did you send that out? It had to have been last
Probably,
fall.
it may have been. I'll definitely when we get done with this one, I'll send you guys an updated list on where we're at.
Well, like you said, and then the boys can smoke this copper.
Yeah,
They can
because this
take
was
that
on the
off
list
their
for
list.
them, and unfortunately, their schedule didn't let us on. So I guess they'll be able to smoke this watching the show with us.
Yeah, that's fun too. If you have a cigar and somebody's going through it, even though we've been talking about every other thing but the cigar, really. The
Yeah,
cigar's so it's passive in such a way that it's not like a showstopper, but it's just good.
agreed.
It's not bothered me.
And that's one of the reasons I'll pull this band off. That's one of the reasons me and Johnny Bravo, when we started this, decided to put the title to include the cigar that we're smoking. Some cigar shows just put episode number whatever and their topic, and that's cool. But we thought early on, it's like, hey, we'll make the title the cigar that we're reviewing, so that way if you're coming to watch it, you see like, oh, they're smoking this. So if you wanted to join us, you know what we're smoking.
I'm
And if
getting
you
a little
don't want to
baking
smoke
spice
whatever, that's
now.
cool too.
I'm getting some like cinnamon or something, like a little baking spice on my tongue. I don't know if that's what you're feeling.
I would need Ryan for this. I know that I've been getting hits of spice, but I can't exactly tell you what it is. So I'm gonna have to stay generic to baking spice because I'm not. That's usually where I land. I can tell if it's like a pepper, and if it's a sweet pepper or a bright pepper or something, and then if they're spiced. Every once in a blue moon, I can pull out what it is referencing, but I can't on this one. But I can tell you there's some spice there of some sort.
It almost left like the reason I said cinnamon was because like a cinnamon stick, like it, and then like if you eat a cinnamon disc, how it leaves a little zing on your tongue. It's kind of a mixture of smelling it and then tasting it for the same time. For me,
I could follow that train of thought. Absolutely.
but
You know what we should do? Speaking of Bandito, and this is your call because you didn't get as many, is if there's one or
you didn't get any. Who you kidding? I got 4 more than you got.
I know. Well, if they show up and or if you have one of the ones that I still have, I could do 1 or 2 of those on the show and give you a blind review if there's one that you wanted to do just for the hell of it.
Yeah, we don't for sure. I smoked 2 of them. So the one I didn't smoke, I haven't smoked yet, is one of the house blends. And then I didn't smoke the there's a red banded one if you're looking at the site, but it's a figurado. It's tapered on both ends, I believe.
Is that
that might be a Sumatra or a sun grown.
Let me go look. Because if you've got one, we can do that. Ain't no reason.
Yeah, I've got 2, and if you want me to, I'll just throw one of them in my show box.
So nothing against the house blend at all, but it's a very good house blend. Probably wouldn't put it on the show, but if you have the other one, I'm pulling this up because we referenced they changed their band. So let me see. So
it's like a burgundy
Modesto
band. Burgundy.
Oh, that's not Connecticut. So I'm having to go slower because they changed. So give me the list here. Where are you? Oh, y'all changed the way. Oh, they changed their site too. That's cool. All right, so the white band is the Modesto. That is a Habana. The black band Capitano is a San Andreas.
I like that one.
The maroonish band is the Atento. That is a Corojo.
That's the one we'll smoke then.
The green band Fadado is a San Andreas with a Criollo binder, so it's a little different blend. And then the Honesto is the blue band. That's a Habana.
Which they didn't have the blue band or the white band.
So
those are the two they didn't have.
Let's see, Modesto. I think the Modesto is one I have one of the original of. Modesto. Yeah, I got that one at Toro. I'm gonna send you that one so you can try it.
All right, cool.
And then we can put. What was the other one you said? The one that you had?
I have the Burgundy one and the House one are the only two I have left.
Burgundy is the Atento.
Oh, the like Figurado, right? It's tapered on both ends.
Yep, that's the one. Yeah, we
that's a good size. That's a good size too because it's a good. It looks like a hour plus smoke.
Yeah, we'll do that one on the show just for the hell of it.
That little shotgun shell emerald one. It's not shotgun shell. It's probably 5 inches, but man, that's got to be a 60 ring gauge. What was the?
I'm pretty. I know that's the Fadado. That it's a 58. So
58.
Pretty much a short Gordo, like 58, 4.5.
Yeah, I smoked that on the boat. That was the first one I smoked. As soon as I got back, I smoked that one, and it smoked really nice. It had a really good flavor. It was a good cigar.
I almost smoked that one on St. Patty's Day when I was doing the green band run, like everybody tends to do.
Right.
And I put it back, but I almost pulled that one out on St. Patty's Day.
Was it your last one? Is that why?
Yeah. So the ones I have I have one each of these. So I literally have one each of them. So that's probably why I didn't smoke it. I was just holding on to it.
Well, hopefully, God willing, your package will show up.
Right.
I've never had trouble shipping a package ever. It's been.
I know.
I bet you I've shipped 70 boxes in the UPS system in the last 3-4 years, just hauling, cigars all over, and I've never ever had a problem with UPS. That's why I won't use USPS because I would have been saying I've had only 20 lost of the 70.
Right. And I've been lucky. I've never had cross my fingers here. I've never had a package with USPS that's. Now I've had it maybe reroute and then within a day or two it comes back, but I've never had one do like this UPS is doing right now. So it's shocking because UPS is usually pretty dang reliable.
The thing is like it's when you look, I think I shipped it on the 4th, and it shows it went to Illinois and it was holding it, in Illinois the 4th, and it said, well, on the 6th it was leaving Illinois, and then it doesn't say anything else. Like
it's just
there's no, and that's been. Maybe it was the 4th. I can't remember. It's been way too many days. Four days at least since just sitting there stagnant. So
it either got mistracked or it got put on the wrong truck, and they'll find it at the next disto.
Yeah. Well,
what was it? That one package that was it? I think it was from BL Luxuries that you got that. Instead of coming straight over, it ended up in Texas or Las Vegas or something.
Well, I ordered something. It was from James over. No. It was.
Was that a Ronnie package?
Nope. It was Junko's cigars I think they're in New York or they're in Pennsylvania. Yeah. But my package went to Texas. I mean, it would just come straight to me, right, from New York or Pennsylvania. It went to Texas and then came all the way back up. So that was the one you talked about around Christmas.
distribution centers that it, even if it was going to go to a different region, that it should still have stayed up there. There's no reason for it to
Yeah,
come all the
felt
way
like
down
you
here.
sent it all the way down to Texas. Yeah, I think that just got lost somehow. Like you're saying, hopefully that's the case with this one and it bounces back, but
Hopefully
we'll
so.
see. Yeah.
I'm anxious to get them. If not, I mean, nothing we can do about it now. Just hoping to show up.
We'll figure it out. Hopefully it'll show up. But I don't even, like I said, I don't even remember what I put in there for your extras, so I can't even tell you what I'm out because I totally
Be a
forgot by
surprise.
now. Well, usually I take. I might have taken a picture. Usually I take a picture before I send it out, so
Right. So you know what's in there.
I might have one. I'll have to look and see. All to do is make you mad though when it doesn't show up. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So I guess coming back to this copper, the spice is now building up for me in the last third, which I know isn't always a thing, but on this one, and it may just be closer heat, I'm not sure, but that wood smell that I was getting earlier, I'm now getting a little bit more on the palate, on the tongue now.
yeah, that's fair. I
Still a ton
think
of
that
leather,
part
though.
of what I was talking about was that spice buildup too. When I was saying I started to taste some cinnamon and stuff, is
It may have been because you're
it's a
just a
different.
hair ahead of me, so you might have just hit that point sooner.
Yeah, I'm smoking this one kind of fast. Where are we at? We're about 50 minutes in. Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
about right. Good hour smoke overall, roughly. And I have noticed, I've been doing some. I don't dry box everything, but I've been dry boxing a good amount since somebody named Chad sent me a pretty badass cigar box that he got from Cody Mobley. Is that his last name, right?
Yeah, Cody Mobley. Yep. Yeah, you should show that on here sometime so we can get Cody some business. Did you hear about what
Uh,
happened to his business? I
yeah,
put that post up, man. They had a huge flood there, and I
yeah, I've
guess
heard
he had a
about
couple
that.
feet of water in his store, and so he's trying to salvage things and run his shop out of his house right now. And so I bought a sampler from him the other day. I just put that up, hoping people might, pitch in. I'm
Yep.
sure every little bit helps the guy.
Well, I'll actually show right now. I'll show a picture of the dry box that you got me. Do you have to reach out to him directly, or can you order those on his website?
No, that's something he does personally. That's
Okay,
like not through his Kentucky Gentleman Cigar Company. That's a whole different business.
something
But
he does.
I think he got started doing it when he was making his own cigars, and then I think he was making boxes to put them in. Like he's figured out how to do it, and so
Gotcha.
he's making his own boxes. Essentially, I think is how it got started. But now he just
Okay.
does the custom boxes, and I think that's just run out of his house. But I just messaged him on Messenger, and we hooked it up. He asked me what I wanted, what size. Everything is super reasonable. Like it's cheaper than what you'd think when you go there. And I want custom
Right.
boxes with custom logos, and the logos were so easy because lots of places, like I was telling you, like when Ellen had your sign made, I bet you she had to send an actual digital image, like a JPEG or some kind of a file, right?
Right. Yeah. She went and hijacked my logo files and sent it to him.
I sent him a picture of your logo, and he was able to do what he did. And I did the same
That's
thing
cool.
for the Secreto boxes. I just sent basically, I went on their website, took a screenshot of their logo, and sent it to him. So he has some kind of software, it must be, that copies the
Probably
pictures or
so.
something. Because
And you
yours
see
turned
how
out
good
fantastic.
it looked. I mean, the logo is clean. The text is clean.
Yeah,
My name on it is clean. So,
yeah,
um,
they're pretty neat, and they smell amazing.
oh, true. You can tell it's definitely true cedar, and you can fit. Depending on size, I can put 10 cigars in there, and it's still got headroom. So, I mean, technically, you could probably stack 15 in there because of the over. Like if you wanted to do that,
Yep.
I can put a little headspace in there. But so you definitely got plenty of good space for dry boxing. For a day or two or three, depending on how much you smoke. So,
Yeah, he offers a couple different sizes, and the one that I got you guys, when I say you guys, you and Heather and Ronnie, was it was the small size, right? Because you
right,
put
right,
six, 8 cigars in there, no problem.
easy.
But he has one that's more the size of a cigar box.
Yep.
Like, 8 by 10 or 8 by 11 or something, and it's a little deeper. It's about an inch deeper, I think. And I think he charges another $10 or $15 for that box. So it's like the prices are super reasonable
Yeah.
for what you're getting. And I basically just, like I said, I messaged him. We worked out a deal. Told me how much. I Venmoed him. Boxes were at my house 4 days or 5 days later.
So if y'all are interested in this and you're in the Facebook Holodown group, just message Cody Mobley. If you don't find him, you can email us or message one of us or comment on the show here, and we'll hook you up because it's nice and that smell is fantastic. So it's not the fake cedar or the cedar lined. It's just
so good.
It smells so fantastic.
I'm gonna get myself one now. I think I've been using I have a couple of old cigar boxes that I just have been using for years that I just throw in there. Like I got an old Cinco de Cinco box and I got a small, I just got a couple cigar boxes. I just throw them in there, but just having a cedar one would be nice. Put my name on it or something.
It is nice because even when I've toyed with dry box in the day, I never stuck with it before now, but I never did it in a cedar box or just like that, an old cigar box or whatever. It adds just a little bit of aromatic touch to it. I appreciate the hell out of you getting that for me because it's a damn good way to dry box. So
yeah, I just thought it was a cool little novelty too, right? Like
it is
just to go along with the rest of your Holodown swag.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a vibe, man.
Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to get my new sweatshirt and hat. Just so everybody knows, there's two-tone flat bills on the site.
We did. After a quote-unquote suggestion from a friend, we added some flat bills. Added some flat bills back to the merch line. We did that at the same time we added a small duffel because somebody suggested that. So if you got any suggestions and stuff that you think is cool just for the hell of it, let me know, and there's a good chance I can probably get it on there because our new vendor has a ton of options compared to what we started out with. So
I saw that duffel bag on there. I didn't check it out like in depth, but I just noticed that was something that was just added, right? Like
yeah, I added it literally. I think the same day that I added the flat bill hat, and that's more of a travel style duffel. There is a larger I think there was another option that I didn't add yet was like a 70 liter. I wasn't sure if anybody would need one that big for with merch all over it, but I may throw it on there. You never know.
When they measure bags, they should measure them in something you understand, like 25 shirts or something. Not why are we measuring it in liquid form, like liters? 30 sweatshirt bag or 20 sweatshirt bag. So you know how big it is.
The only reason I have learned to properly equate bag size in liters is because all of the dive gear bags are measured in liters. So I know I need a 90 to 100 liter bag to properly fit my dive gear in there. So that's how my brain equates it as far as what cubic space it is in liters to get my shit in there.
Or even if they said gallons, like 8 gallons. I know how much 8 gallons is, but liters, you switching over to the metric system and
the it's whole thing, man. Rough. Liters somewhat close to a quart. It's like, it's not exact.
33.1 or something.
It's like 1.1 quarts or something. It's really close. So
it's a little over, right?
It's a little over. Yeah. So in smaller bags, it's not enough to matter, but you start getting bigger, that gap can change. So it's if you're talking about a 70 liter, I don't know, that's probably like a 32, 33 gallons, something like that. I don't know. That may be way off. My math is not working right now, but no, that's too much.
12 sweatshirts. 12
that's too much. Bag. 70 divided by 4, that's definitely not 30. So that's more like 17, 18 gallons. I don't know, something like that.
That's a big bag then, right?
Yeah, it's the 70 liter, that's a pretty big bag. Like most of your standard backpacks, to give you a brain, is around like 35 liters per se. So,
Oh, okay. That's a good size, about the size of a gym bag then.
yeah,
Something you took
pretty
to
much.
school. Like when we were in school, everybody had the same gym bags from our school or whatever. You could buy
Right.
them, and they were yay long, square duffel bag.
And the one that's on there, it's more of a airline purposes, more like a travel or carry-on size-ish, and then there's that bigger one that I haven't put on there. But yeah, it'd be a pretty good bag, I think. Pretty big bag.
Well, you're gonna have to get one and model it for us.
I may have to, because I haven't ordered a tester of that one, so just set it up.
How can you do that when you set products up? Can you get a test product?
Yeah, I can get a test product. I pretty much just put an order and it puts it at cost for me so I can test it out. So, I don't get it free. I still got to pay for it, but that way I can get it and test it out and make sure.
Okay.
That's what I did with the shirts and the hoodies and the.
I wondered if they actually would give you a product trying to, buy your business or whatever, because, you're switching over and you're making them money too, right? So
when I first signed up, the first run of tests, it was cost minus 30%, but that was a one run for the initial carryover.
Right. So, they would say you can get whatever you want then, but you can't order it all one time. A hat, flip-flops, a bag, sweatshirt.
And that was a one-time intro deal, setting it up with the company. Now I can still pay cost for it. It's just not free or cheap, which is fine.
Yeah. I think the pricing's very reasonable. I got on there the other day. I bought a flat bill hat and a sweatshirt, which are both high quality. Right. With shipping and tax and everything, it was under $70.
Yeah, and their prices are fantastic. So I'm
definitely the sweatshirts were $29.98 and the hats were $25, so it was $55 plus tax and shipping. So
I'm very happy with that for sure.
Me too. It's better than the other place for sure. We won't say who it was.
No, 100%. Because the other one's a pretty big company. I was kind of disappointed, but I'll tell you, finishing up the cigar, this is it's another one that outside of that spice it, I haven't really got much transition, which is why y'all haven't really heard us talk about a whole lot of extra notes. But it's a good, smooth, solid cigar. It's very reliable, consistent. The burn, I did a 1 second touch up at the beginning, and that was purely because I didn't light it very evenly, and that was on me. And since then, it has stayed very, very even, very clean. Yeah, I mean,
zero touch-ups. This thing just
since that first fix, I've had to do nothing else. So the draw is clean, very smoky. I like it. Which I've had a couple of them. I've had a couple of them, but sitting down and actually talking about it and pulling it through, paying more attention. I'm definitely gonna keep these around. Well, as long as I can.
Yeah, so the one thing I'll say is that we talked about that peanut, and I think I only got that in about the first third, and then it started to go away.
Agreed.
And then as it transitioned from second into third, the spice, like you mentioned, so it does have a little bit of transition to it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll correct myself. It does have
I'm getting some
small transition.
Like I said, baking spice now and no peanut. It's more baking spice and leather, and I think that there was some coffee in the front end too that's kind of gone now too. I think it's more just baking spice, leather, wood right now. So it's not it's not a roller coaster, but it's gradual.
Well, good correction. I guess I will correct myself. It's not no transitions. It's more easy or simple transitions, but it's
smooth.
It does have some progression to it.
It happens so smoothly and slowly. I never realized until I just talked. So you said that, and I was like, "Well, wait, what happened to the peanut?"
Right.
That's why I thought about it. I was like, "What happened to the peanut?"
It's just burning so well. It's not super complex, so you're not getting this major drop and change or whatever. So
it's super smoky, though. I will say that. Like I got tons of smoke. I never was like, "Oh, I wish I could drag on this harder to get more smoke." It was every time I hit it, it was
every time
performing.
So another good cigar to try, but. I guess that's where we need to wrap up for the day. Another another random conversation show with the homie, like we like to do.
Man, yeah, get yourself some Hoya coppers.
Absolutely. See, I didn't have any when we pulled up the info, but there's several other sites that do. $150 roughly for a box if you get the Toros, cheaper if you get the other size. So, um, you know, $6, $7, $8 a cigar, depending on where you get it. So, very, very good pricing point as well. So, another one to try out. That's what we do this for. But time to wrap it up and be adults again. You know, sad Nate, sad face. But all y'all down in Hollow Down World, we appreciate your time. We said if y'all want to hit us up on those cigar boxes, we'll link you up if you aren't in the group or don't find the gentleman that we're referencing in Cody Mobley. Damn good cigar boxes. And any other info or questions or hate mail you even have, drop in the show. Drop in the show notes. We welcome all of it. But until next time, y'all know the drill. Stay safe and hollow down.
See ya. Hate mail. Have you gotten some hate mail lately you didn't tell me about or something?
No, it just seems funny to say.